Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video. So in this video, I'm going to be detailing some of the things that I'm basically doing with MElib. So for those of you who don't know what MElib is, it's basically going to be a media engine library that allows you to basically use the media engine and integrate it into basically any sort of project that you want to. This is pretty important because currently there isn't a real easy way to use MElib or sort of any ME sort of library out there that's going to give you the functions in order to put arbitrary tasks on the media engine. So I thought that pretty much it would be very beneficial if we were to create a standard library for this. That would make it very easy and somewhat trivial in order to basically use the ME. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So today what I've really started doing with MElib was that I basically created the project first off, then I went ahead and decided to go and take Dataless's driver and basically roughly port it into its own little library container. This now means that instead of having to basically port Dataless's solution, all you're going to have to do is to include another library into your project, which is -lme, and then basically what you're going to have to do is you're also going to include the ME file. Once you've really done that, now you have all of the access to sort of the main media engine functions, which requires you to make a media engine information structure, fill out some information, and then basically you can init the ME, stop the ME, you can give it jobs and things like that, alongside some of the utility functions that are built into the Dataless driver. Now with this project I want to really go ahead and add a few more things to it to make it very convenient for other people to use as well, such as adding its own little job manager onto it in order to actually be able to sort of pass in jobs and do more complicated behaviors like that. It would also be able to be used as just sort of an all-purpose job manager for code that doesn't really need to run on either the CPU or the ME, but it would just be something that could be an all-in-one sort of job manager that would help you out. I also intend to do some sort of feature that allows you to see whether or not the ME is able to initialize. If the ME doesn't initialize, then it switches over to CPU only mode, which is going to be just something that protects you against things like the Vita not working and stuff like that. So given this sort of functionality, what I have envisioned is somewhat of a queue job system where you can basically put different items onto the queue and then pop them off as well. So what I went ahead and thought up was that basically the job manager is going to have one centralized queue with a bunch of jobs stored inside of it in the order that they were first created. It's going to scan for the next few jobs and then basically it's going to use an algorithm to determine which are the most highest priority and which ones are the lower priorities. If they're all the same priority, of course it's just going to execute in order. This way we can have somewhat of an advanced system where if you actually wanted to change the priority, what you can do is that you're going to be able to have higher priority tasks execute beforehand. I also thought of a different sort of mode for this, where you could have like a profiling mode, or you could have a mode that would basically go ahead and track the execution times of different jobs. So you would have a job ID, and basically you would have an ID for every single type of one single job, and once that has run over and over again, you're going to be able to actually go ahead and know some of the performance metrics, and then you're also going to be able to understand what the CPU times are as well. So that way you could actually go ahead and sort of run all of your CPU related tasks and ME related tasks and automatically balance between the main CPU and the ME for a lot of your basic functions that you're going to be calling. Of course, you would have some way to explicitly decide whether or not something has to be on the main CPU or on the ME as well. Overall, I'm going to be working on this job manager a little bit, and I'm going to be also using this media engine library inside of MCPSP in order to basically have a much more sophisticated system to tinker around with, especially for chunk generation. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope devs find this useful, and I'll see you guys in another video.